Welcome to Chasing Truth. I'm glad you're with me today. We have a controversial show. I had some friends and viewers send me an article from an organization in Israel called One for Israel, Messianic Jews in Israel. Now, the title of the article is Christmas, Pagan or Kosher. So I encourage you to go to their website, oneforisrael.org, and search for this article, Christmas, Pagan or Kosher, and then read it for yourself. As a Messianic Gentile who represents a fast-growing number of Messianic Gentiles, I wanted to respond to a few points that these particular Messianic Jews in One for Israel have made. So let's just jump into this. I'm going to read one of their opening statements. It says, quote, "It is true that many pagans, those who do not worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, have worshipped false deities with certain trees, foods, and so on. But does this render those trees and foods unholy? I don't think so. Unadvisable as it may be to eat food offered to idols, if pagans are offering lamb in their homes to their idols, it doesn't mean you can't cook your own lamb at home and enjoy it with your family and fellowship with the living God of Israel. If those involved in animism use images and pictures of their ancestors to worship, it doesn't prohibit us from having photographs of our relatives around the house, even if they are deceased." Okay, so what does that have to do with Christmas? This whole article is about Christmas. So I'm not quite sure why they're talking about lamb and animism, but I know they have a particular angle here. But let me just respond if I could. On Christmas, the most popular meat that is eaten at that Christmas meal is the pig, not the lamb. Maybe they're confusing Passover with Christmas, but at Christmas, the honey-glazed baked ham is the #1 most popular meat chosen for that particular festival. Honey-glazed baked ham. It's called the Christmas ham. Now here's my point. If you, at One for Israel, want to eat pig on December 25th in honor of Jesus being born, go ahead. We are not judging you for this. This is your freedom. However, as Messianic Gentiles who love Messiah and embrace the Torah as a way of life, we're going to skip the pig, as well as other foods that God has called detestable, abhorrent, has said it's disgusting to eat those things. We're going to skip them. We believe God has given to those whom He has saved a special diet to enhance our health and to enhance our experience of sanctification. Let's move on to trees. Trees employed in religious services. I want to point out that Israel got in trouble repeatedly for using trees in their worship of the living God. Now in Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 9, God says, He says through Jeremiah, I'm going to divorce my people Israel. I think it's noteworthy to point out the reason why. Verse 9, because of the lightness of her harlotry. She, Israel, polluted the land and committed adultery with stones and trees. Now, think about that. How do you commit adultery with stones and trees? And specifically trees, because that's what we're talking about. So how does one commit adultery with a tree? Obviously, it's talking about spiritual adultery. It's talking about using trees in the worship of God. Somehow employing trees the way the pagans worship their gods, and somehow repackaging that and using that in the worship of God. God says that's spiritual adultery. Now, if you want to put up a decorated fir tree in your home, or in your synagogues, or in your congregations during Christmas, go ahead. Again, we are not judging you. It's your religious right and religious freedom to do so. We're a little bit perplexed, but that's your right. However, as Messianic Gentiles, we will wait until the fall, and we're going to decorate a sukkah during the Festival of Tabernacles in commemoration of Jesus' birth. This is when He took on human flesh and blood. He tabernacled in a human tent, fulfilling the promise of God's dwelling presence with us. So we're going to wait till fall, and we're going to decorate a sukkah instead of a tree. And that's how we're going to celebrate the birth of Jesus. We're not saying that is the right way or a better way. We're just saying, hey, that's our religious freedom. That's when we're going to do it. You can do it your way. So, what about the date of December 25th? Now, in the articles, in the article that's written, it implies that the pagans got it from the Christians. That the Christians were celebrating Christmas long before the pagans decided to have a date for the birth of their sun god, their pagan worship of the sun as God. And I just want to say, when I looked at the evidence in this article, it was, in my estimation, it was very weak and highly debatable, very controversial. And I think, when they quoted Talley in their article, Dr. Talley, Professor Talley, and his work, I went and bought Talley's book and I read it. I read these areas that relate to this particular reference in the article multiple times. And I think that they might have misread Dr. Talley and maybe misrepresented what he's actually saying. Suffice it to say, trying to make the case that the pagans stole the date of December 25th from Christians who had been celebrating Jesus' birth on that date all along is just simply, in my humble opinion, BS. Listen to me, it's BS. It's bad scholarship. That's what it is. Bad scholarship. Now, I don't have the time to get into the specifics of Christmas and paganism, but I've done a recent podcast called How to Persevere in Faithfulness. And it's all about Christmas and Easter and other syncretized holy days. So you can go to graftedin.com. That's graftedin.com. Click on the tab Teachings, and then click underneath that on the tab Messianic Shabbat. And after you get into Messianic Shabbat, you can then look for my teaching, How to Persevere in Faithfulness. Again, it's about Christmas, Easter, Halloween, syncretized holy days. In conclusion, I want to state this. I want to be very clear here. We love the Messianic Jews in the One for Israel organization. We love them. We count them as brothers and sisters in the Lord. We do think it's deeply intriguing that they are supporting, promoting, and even celebrating Christmas. We believe in their religious freedom to put up decorated Christmas trees in their homes, their synagogues, and congregations during the week of December 25th. We even applaud their freedom to eat honey-baked Christmas hams. However, as Messianic Gentiles who love Jesus and the Torah, which He has written on our hearts, we will wait until the fall festival of tabernacles to celebrate the birth of Jesus. This is when He became a human tabernacle and dwelt among us. So in commemoration of His birth, we'll decorate a sukkah in the fall rather than a Christmas tree in the winter. And we're going to eat roasted lamb and not the Christmas ham. Now, I know this is ironic. In my closing, I just want to say this, and it is. It's ironic. But to my Messianic Jewish brothers and sisters in One for Israel, Merry Christmas to you and yours. And to all of our pagan neighbors, Merry Mithra to you and yours. And to all of our Messianic Gentile brothers and sisters, Happy Hanukkah. I know it's a little bit past Hanukkah, but remember to stay faithful to the King and to His royal law, the Torah. That's it. Thanks for chasing truth with me on this super controversial matter. Please subscribe to this channel, comment below, and if you have a chance, check us out at graftedin.com.